Today, I want to talk about what it means to be a thought leader and how ultimately, if you start to implement a digital strategy, you create what I call a thought leadership flywheel, which will get you further and farther than you could ever imagined. So what is a thought leader? In my mind, a thought leader is someone who is a recognized expert in their field. People see them out there talking, presenting, creating content, and they're saying things that help educate people in their audience. The word leader simply implies that you are out there, you're taking action. And in some cases, you might be predicting things that are happening and kind of being like leading edge of your industry. But in more ways, it's simply you are out there creating content, educating your audience, and being a trusted expert. Of course, a lot of what we talk about in our strategy and using the favorite teacher framework is that you want to become that favorite teacher. You want to be the person out there creating content. So people search for their problems or they search looking for solutions. You are that person that is teaching them all about it. So the concept of being a thought leader fits very well into a good digital strategy. But of course, how do you get started? You can't just one day wake up and say, I'm a thought leader, right? It's one of those things you have to build up over time. And truthfully, it is a difficult thing to do. You can't become a thought leader overnight because by definition, in order to be a leader, you have to have followers or an audience that is seeking information from you. So it's absolutely a process. But the good news is, it's a process that actually gets easier over time. This is because of something that I call the Thought Leadership Flywheel. So if you're not familiar with the flywheel, it is a mechanical engineering device that actually makes it so that as you add energy to a system, it maintains that system and actually speeds up over time. Or in other words, as you get further along in your journey, it actually becomes easier and you become more effective at creating content and engaging your audience. So what does this flywheel look like? At the very top of the flywheel is creating content. This is you putting out educational content and talking about things that are happening in your industry or in your space. From creating content, the next step in the flywheel is that you start to expand your reach. You start getting picked up on social media, you start getting found on search engines, and people start to actually follow you. And once people start to follow you, then you start to build an audience. An audience is real people that care about what you're talking about. And more importantly, they start to engage with you. They start leaving comments, they start shooting DMs to you, they start talking to you at events. And as you get this engagement, that leads to better content because now you know what your audience wants. You're getting ideas from them based on the questions they're asking or the things that they're talking about, and that leads to more content ideas for you. So from there, we go right back up to the top of the flywheel. We start creating better content, but now the content, because it's better, is actually getting better reach. So you're reaching more people on search or on social or in real life, which of course goes to the next stage of the flywheel, which is you engage your audience. But this time you have a bigger audience, a more engaged audience, people who are now expecting content from you. They're following you on social media. They subscribe to your newsletter. These are people who are actually looking towards you as a thought leader, which of course this bigger engaged audience will lead to bigger and better content ideas. And around goes this flywheel where you start to create better content, get more reach, and engage your community better. And this will ultimately lead to you being a better thought leader. And of course, once you have positioned yourself as a thought leader in your industry, this will help you grow your business, grow your career, and you'll probably have a lot of fun doing it. And I always caveat because sometimes I think the word thought leader, kind of like the word personal brand, can get mixed up in the world of vanity social media metrics.
I'm very important.
But I think a good thought leader truly cares about their audience. They create good educational content based on what they know, and more importantly, they actually engage with their audience and build a community. This is the kind of thing that'll help you grow your business, grow your career, and ultimately just have more fun doing what you're doing. So where do you start? How do you create that thought leadership flywheel? To me, it all starts with understanding who your audience is, who that student is that you are trying to teach, and creating good educational content. These can be blog posts, they can be social posts, and they can be on your website, they can be on social media, they can be in person giving presentations. It's knowing your audience and creating good, valuable content for them. You do it once, and then you do it twice, and you just keep doing it day in, day out. And eventually you'll start to get that feedback, you'll start to grow that reach, they'll start to engage with you, and that's gonna help you create better content, which starts up that flywheel. So I encourage you to think about your goals and your aspirations when it comes to creating content and building a digital strategy, and truly think about what that first step is that you can take to start that flywheel in motion.